Please welcome Eiza González.
Everyone. I just want to say I'm so happy to be here. This is my favorite show.
Oh, really?
Yes, I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
Thank you.
And happy to be your last guest.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. I hope you've had a good day.
Had an amazing day.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yes,
So I have a quick question because I watched the movie ahead of time.
Okay.
Right? And usually when you think about like a mobster in a movie, you don't always think comedy, and you definitely don't think sci-fi on top of that. So what made you choose a film that has like 9 genres to it?
Yeah, undecisive, right? She is undecisive. No, I really like that Ben David had an original take on archetypes of characters, right? Like, we know a gangster, and we see gangster movies, amazing gangster movies, by the way, Goodfellas, The Godfather, but we see sort of like the bad dudes in there, and then we see sort of the femme fatale character. And here, everyone has, it's sort of, we introduce them like something, and then it turns it on its head, and it's a femme fatale, but she's outrageously fun and like quirky and strange. And then, you know, Mike is a guy who's a killer, but also smitten and kind of a dweeb and in love with her. And it just plays with the comedy of, you know, what typically we would think. And so for an actor, that is very exciting because you get to explore uncharted territory. And I had never dived into comedy, which is, I don't know if you guys know, very hard to do. Very hard, very hard. And it's nice. You go from, you know, one scene starts with something very dramatic and grounded, and it has to transition very quickly into comedy, and that is incredibly challenging. And so I was really excited for this new challenge. And then, I mean, you're working with Vince Vaughn and James Marsden. I mean, it's a dream come true.
Great, that's amazing. I'm happy to hear it, that it was like so fun and that it was like fulfilling along the way. Because to me, when you're choosing roles, you know, I imagine you've tried to choose roles that really let you sort of stretch out your range and everything. Like, was comedy one that you wanted to take off? Is there anything else that you really want to do that you feel like so far you haven't done yet?
Oh, absolutely. I think as an actor, you're always sort of striving to grow. And what I've gathered, even watching someone like Vince Vaughn, for example, that has all the experience in the world, he's sort of set a tone for comedy. Watching him on a set where he's diving into the unknown, especially with all the technical thing that we need to do for the filming of itself, of having 2 of him. You're watching a well-experienced actor learn something new at, you know, his young age. And so that I thought, wow, incredible. We can still consistently keep learning in our craft. And yeah, I love it. I love it. I think the biggest compliment is when someone doesn't realize that it's you in a movie. I think that's the best compliment, because you want to disappear. And some jobs allow you to do that, some don't. And I just want to experience it all. Yeah,
that's awesome. Because to me, I've seen you in a bunch of different movies, and I've also had in my head that I was like, oh yeah, I saw that was you in Hobbs and Shaw. That was also you in Baby Driver. And that was also you in I Care a Lot.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you're good at really shifting whatever the film calls for, you know? Because there are some aspects sometimes of a movie where if it's an action movie, almost every character is kind of like the same type of action star.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes they play on it, but then there's other moments where you're like, oh, it's kind of cool that this is the person that sort of hangs back and is like, y'all don't need to fight.
I appreciate you saying that. That's an honor. We all strive for that, I guess. It is funny when, you know, I have friends of mine that watched I Care a Lot, the entire movie, and they're like, never saw you. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm in the whole movie, and they're like, wait, that's you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it just goes to show, and I'm not thinking, wow, I disappeared in the character and I'm such an artiste, but because I'm not, but I really am not. I'm far away from that, but it is cool because sometimes some directors come around and think of you for characters that not necessarily people would think of you. Like when they were casting I Care a Lot, or when they were casting Mike, Nick, and Alice, there's not a specific type of person written for the character. It's sort of open-ended. And when you have a director that goes, you can do this, and you yourself, you're like, can I? I'm not sure about that. Really makes you excited and challenged. And I mean, that's the dream. We have a dream job. We are so lucky to do what we do. I mean, I came from a family that had to work really hard jobs in order to pay the bills. And for me to be able to cross over to America from Mexico City, a full immigrant, and be able to work in this country is an honor, and to be able to represent my culture is meaningful and very important for me.
You bring up coming from Mexico. I wanted to ask you about fame in that way too, because you were already famous coming from Mexico, and then you've reached this other type of fame, being famous here. And it's like to be in like the stratosphere of fame in your home country, and then come to another country and almost pretty much start over and everything. What is that sort of transition like?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. There's so many answers to this question, but for instance, I started when I was really young. I've talked about this briefly, and it was overnight. So I experienced the overnight success, and that is very daunting as a child. You have a lot of obligations, responsibilities. People put a lot of like their own children watching you on TV responsibility on you, whilst you're trying to find your own identity. So that was quite terrifying for me, and luckily I had really good grounding around me, and my family was incredible, and my mom was not a stage mom, thank God, because that could have gone south. And it was great, but it was challenging. The first time I ever stood on a stage, there was 25,000 people. The first time ever, I must have been 14, 13, and I developed stage fright, like straight up stage fright. And then I got to do it again and prove myself if I had it, and now I'm an adult and I'm in America, and now the stakes are higher. I'm sacrificing having a career and an established career in a different country. And now I'm in a country where, at the time, too, when I did the transition from Mexico to America, the international value of a superstar didn't mean anything. It was sort of like you're starting from scratch. We don't really see the value of internationality, which has completely changed now and really helped people to cross over. But it was like, can I do this? English is my second language. I had to learn really fast to adapt, to learn how to audition in English, to feel in English, and I had a very different experience. It was a slow burn, I started getting small roles and small things, and I always try to embrace those things because I was lucky enough to experience two complete different styles of career within a same life. And no one knows me in America. Yeah. It's amazing. Well, maybe your ballet and the kitchen people and, all my Mexicans, Viva Mexico, they all know me. Yeah. But it's nice. I do. I live an anonymous life, and I appreciate the little things, which I didn't get as a child. And so it is daunting sometimes. I've lived two different lives, for sure. That's
incredible, though. And I hope that you can teach me to audition in English, because I grew up here, and man, I am bombing these auditions.
Oh, me too.
This is like, especially the way they say thank you when you're done, and you're like, but what do you...
Can I ask for another?
But like,
yeah.
So thank you and leave, not like thank you and let's hang out.
Yeah, and we got the job.
Yeah.
And you're just hanging. You're just like hoping for like a low fruit that you can grab onto. Yeah. You're like, but he smiled twice at me, so maybe I got the job.
You know what?
It's
he
the
said
worst.
Thank you. Like he really hit that you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you did great.
You did great.
Yeah.
And then your agent calls and they're like, they love you.
But it's not you.
Not enough to put you in it, but they love you.
That's always the line. No, they really are a fan of you, but that you're not the right person. And you're like, what? This doesn't add. No, listen, you work really hard to never audition again.
Okay.
That is the aim.
Right.
Like,
this is the plan.
Yeah, because I think auditioning is so unfair. It's not necessarily, with all due respect, the shit I've had to do.
Yeah.
Like, guys, you're like, there's a ghost. You're scared. You're really scared. Now he's eating your arm. You're like, okay. You're just trying. You're like, okay. You're scared. Now you're happy.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, I'm happy.
Do I still have the arm?
You're like, the arm's there. No, it's gone.
Yeah.
Now you're in the ocean. Swim. And you're like, I get we do make believe, but it gets to a point where like I will need maybe a cup
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
another person. If I'm making out with you in the scene, maybe be a man. Like,
yeah, sure.
Because this is making me really excited too.
Sure.
If I'm reading with a girl, but like, what is happening? Like, so the whole thing becomes really like you have to envision so many things, and it's so demanding for the actor, and it's never how it's on set. Never,
Yeah.
never the same. So I just feel like justice for no more auditioning.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just
Yeah.
pick me. Yeah.
Just pick me.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Eiza González. Mike and Nick and Alice premieres March 27th on Hulu.